how it looks like. Don't be shocked. Hey, it was finished on Christmas. And we have nice stickers for the channels. Okay, let's have a look what's in there. One more. Yeah, we have a power supply, which is a standard power supply. Here are 4 MPEG encoders. You can only see 2 because the other 2 are under those. They are stacked. 4 MPEG encoders for 4 rooms. Those are hardware encoders from Fujitsu. You can see audio and video running in there. Between those MPEG encoders, below the cables, is the multiplexer. You can't see much of it, but it's not too interesting. It's just a small FPGA with lots of connectors, 4 connectors for the MPEG encoder, and 1 connector which runs to the Centipede module, which is here. It does the PSA table insertion and EPG insertion and malicious firmware playout and stuff. And from there we go in the modulator. This is the board we've seen for a moment ago. Then we have an up converter here. This is looking a bit different than the one on the other picture, but it's basically the same, but in a better quality. So that's what in the box that sits on top of the amplifier. It's not much, but it's a complete DVB-T transmitter. So you don't do such things alone. We have to thank some people for it, and we want to say who did it. We have Stefan Reimann, who also did the PR430 packet radio device for the ham radios. Probably someone knows this. He did hardware and HF design, PCB layout. We have Thorsten Schulze, who did the hardware integration and the system test. He also built the nice box with all the stuff in it. We have Bastian Euler, who built the MCU firmware. We have Thomas Seiler, who did the DVB multiplexer and the Linux kernel USB stack, I think. And yeah, we have ourselves who did the rest. Okay. What's on the radar? What's going on? Probably you've already noticed that all of this is work in progress. We finished in time for the Congress with the basic transmitter, but of course we are planning some things. This Centipede board together with that modulator is a generic software-defined transmitter platform. You have 150 megahertz DAC, can attach different up converters, stuff like that. And it would be suitable for DAB, DMB, DVB-H, ATSC, and all that broadcast-like stuff you probably know. We have currently a more powerful modulator in development. It uses a Vertex 4 FPGA instead of a Vertex 2 FPGA. So you can do more stuff and modulate several carriers at once or something like that. And perhaps the most interesting project is something we have in the planning stage, is a version with a receiver which can do OFDM, or not much of OFDM, but QPSK, QAM, GMSK, but it has a receiver, so it would be suitable as an amateur radio link transceiver or approaching DECT GSM. It wasn't a joke, remember? So that's it. Thank you. If you've got questions or comments, you can ask now or just call DVB-T. We have a vanity number, so just call us up. Thank you. Questions, comments?
Yes. Do we need a amateur radio license to operate this stuff, or how is this covered?
An amateur radio license is not enough for what we got here. We got a real TV license in here. It works on channel 22, so we asked for the license and we got it. It's pretty nice. What kind of license you need depends on where you are going to operate it. If you're doing amateur radio bands, you need an amateur radio license. If you're using broadcast bands, you need a broadcast license, and so on. If you're using some bands, nobody will ask.
Well, the license for our work here can be seen on the picture with the, well, here. Okay, new PowerPoint. This is the license here. We just put it in there to find it if somebody wants to see it. Well, it cost 450 euros, so, well, a bit expensive for the Congress, 4 days. But it doesn't matter, you can have it for a year.
Yeah?
I think they had to look at your transceiver, so something of type approval. They don't want that?
That's probably right, but we told them we are using a self-built transceiver and they didn't object. And we have a channel filter here which cuts out almost everything that's outside of our band. It's a commercial filter. It's from an old analog TV repeater. Those are dismantled everywhere, so you can probably get them if you ask at your local TV broadcaster or something. And this prevents us from getting, from people asking questions.
Okay.
More questions? Yeah, there.
So I have 2 questions. The first one is how much does a hardware cost roughly? And the second is compared to your design, what do the television stations use currently, hardware-wise?
Okay, hardware cost is dependent on what you're going to use it for. For amateur use, it will probably be lower than for professional use. We have no prices yet, no fixed prices, so you might ask later, we don't know yet. But there are, of course, commercial products. This is, for example, a transmitter working on 2.4 gigahertz. It's a prototype. You can attach it to the back of a camera, like that one, and have your signal transmitted to that receiver, which could be in your broadcast car and doing live transmission to somewhere else. So there are, of course, commercial products, but there will also be hardware available for amateur use, and it will be significantly cheaper than the hardware for professional use.
As far as I recall, the price calculations for the amateur transmitter were below 1,000 euros. I can't promise it, but that's the price we aim for.
Okay. Second question? What was the second question again? Okay, he asked what the television stations are using. They're using, we don't know that. We know that it's way more expensive. It's coming from companies like Rode und Schwarz. And we think that they are probably using similar techniques. They use better chips with more performance, so they can do better filtering, but that's no problem. Some more questions?
Yeah. Would it be possible to reuse your design on a PCI card so that you could put it in
you don't need a PCI card. You can connect your PC via Ethernet. That's way more cool. Having PCI cards is a problem because there's noise inside the PC and stuff. Ethernet or USB is way more cool. More questions? Yeah?
Is there a maximum transmission power when it's license-free, like in MBANs?
Yeah, it is, but it isn't for self-built devices. So, sorry, I repeat the questions. He asked if there's a maximum power. Well, with that you can use the device for free. There is, but in some bands like 2,400 megahertz, where, for example, VLAN operates, but it isn't for self-built devices. You need an amateur license to use self-built devices, but if you just use it in your house and you don't produce too much power, so you disturb no one will be able to take notice of it. So no problem. But you can fix that with an amateur radio license.
Nowadays, that's easy to get. Well, the most basic license, which allows you to transmit in the 2.4 gigahertz band, is, well, more or less buy it. No questions asked.
More questions?
How will you decide whether it's amateur use or commercial use? So, will you do it by the frequency?
For one reason, we will ask you what you're going to do with it, and for another reason, the amateur version will lack some features that amateurs don't have use for.
So, well, I can think there will be some people who would like to use it not to earn money, but on TV frequencies.
I don't know yet. We have to think about that. But if you don't earn money, it would probably fall under the amateur stuff. Amateur doesn't mean on amateur bands, but not making money.
And also, I think those people might like to buy it anonymously.
Again?
I think those people might like to buy it anonymously.
Yeah, we'll see.
Might be a bit off topic, but you've only talked about transmitting, but not receiving something. If I, for example, would like to emulate 802.11 device, I would also need to process some of these information, interact quite fast on that. Is this also on a long term on the...
What do you want to receive?
For example, if I have a WLAN device, I have to react on acknowledgements, for example.
Yeah, that's done. You have to do that in the FPGA then, for the moment. But we'll see what we can do about real-time capabilities. Okay, I think we have to go now. And was denn? Yeah. Sorry? If there are any questions left, we are around, or call us on DVB-T. Thank you, bye.